Hi, my name's Steve. Welcome aboard my narrowboat home, Moorland Rose. Please join me as I take a slow boat through Britain. In my last vlog, I left you at Bablock Hythe. You will remember that this is where I caught up with narrowboats, Chuggabug and Remembrance. It's a peaceful mooring and the pub car park is handy for supermarket deliveries. It was great entertainment watching and chatting to the Morris dancers performing by the Ferryman pub. My licence for the River Thames expires soon, so I need to get off the river. The pub is named for the chain ferry that once crossed the river here. The ferry was propelled by hand and is first mentioned in 1279. It was still in use for cars until 1964, when it became pedestrians only. Floods in the 1990s caused damage which could not be repaired. The yellow marker buoys indicate the site of a Range Rover that had been driven into the river. I'll make sure to avoid that. Thankfully, these kayakers are a little more controlled than some I have met on this cruise along the Thames. The sign says there's a lockkeeper on duty here. Here he is, having just taken a break.
Too far, and it's a water point as well. We'll be stopping there for half an hour or so anyway then. Come on buddy, see you at the next one.
It is getting windier as the day goes on. This open countryside, although lovely, offers no protection. Swinford Bridge is Grade 2 listed. Funded by the Earl of Abingdon, it was opened in 1769. The Earl included in an Act of Parliament that it was illegal to build another crossing within 3 miles in either direction. The current toll for cars is 5 pence, or 10p if towing a trailer. Pedestrians, cycles and motorcycles are free. There is enough room for this small cruiser to get into the lock with us, if Sean and I pull up to the bottom gates. It would be dangerous to fit him in front of us, so he waits and tucks in behind. We pulled over to close the gates and let the faster cruiser go past. I thought it really weird that there was a gas barbecue standing alone on the bank. That boat is well tucked into the riverside vegetation. It is another of those seemingly endless turns. Someone has left the tailgates open. I need to close them first. Sean arrives to open the top paddles and fill the lock as I complete closing the far end. We're getting good at this.
Well, that's where Gary moored. And then I moored the other side of the bridge. Yeah.
I'll get it in just in front of you. No. The strong crosswind made mooring up quite a problem. Where are you going? I got there in the end. Sean and Gary also found mooring here, so it was a couple of days later we headed off for our last day on the Thames. Gary walked to the lock to see Sean and I through.
Do you want me to grab your centre line?
No, it'll be fine. time to turn off the River Thames, or ISIS as it's known in these parts. I'll hold back and let that approaching boat through.
I hope you've left a nice space at Jericho.
This rail swing bridge was designed by Robert Stevenson and built in 1850. Strengthened over the years, it was finally closed to goods traffic in 1984, now preserved as a scheduled monument by the Oxford Preservation Trust. I'll tie moorland rows up and set the lock for Sean to go straight in. With Sean through and going ahead to find us all a mooring, it's my turn. Sean has identified a lovely mooring that will take Moorland Rose and Chuggabug, who is following a few minutes behind us. I hope you have enjoyed our time on the Thames. It seems we may be stuck here at Jericho Wharf in Oxford for some time. The extremely dry summer of 2025 means that there is very little water on the South Oxford Canal. Join me next week when we do eventually get to make a start heading back north. Until then, stay safe. See you soon.